The following episode is brought to you by FFBcast. Stay tuned for your very own custom podcast, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Alright, welcome in everybody. FFB Joe here. We are about to do a mock draft that we have on Fantasy Football Calculator, 12-team half PPR. Begins in 1 minute. It is 5:05 a.m. We do this at all times of the day, and we're glad to do it. Glad to have you guys here. We love having an audience because regardless, we're doing this, and just to have, some people to talk with and to bring another perspective sometimes, to the chat, to the debate. It really helps, and it helps us connect as well, and it helps us all grow in our thought process when we evaluate maybe individual players, but all types of NFL situations in general. So I really do appreciate you guys, and it is a joy. It truly is. So let me get you to a better view here, and the draft begins. Ezekiel Elliott goes first. Personally, my number one ranked player is Alvin Kamara, and I go pretty hard on running backs. So I have Kamara, Saquon, Zeke, Gurley, McCaffrey, Gordon. That's 6 running backs off the board before I'm even considering anyone else. I do believe I'd take David Johnson. That might be the cutoff before I consider Devontae Adams, Michael Thomas. Alright. Alright, so we have a fair share of running backs and wide receivers going in the first 2 rounds. We have 20 seconds left. I like Nick Chubb here. I have Nick Chubb as a late second round grade. And that's exactly where we're getting him, so let's go ahead and lock that in. Nick Chubb is our choice. And the one opponent drafting behind us takes 2 wide receivers. But AJ Green is still out there, and I like Marlon Mack here. I like Aaron Jones even better in a half PPR. Well, I don't see how we can pass up on a wide receiver 1 in the 3rd round, so let's lock that one in as well. So Kamara, Nick Chubb, and AJ Green. Maybe a little bit earlier on Nick Chubb than you want. You're more so just paying a premium on the running back position. And I've been doing a lot of best balls lately, if you guys have been following. And I'm okay with loading up. I've drafted 5 straight running backs. I usually draft 3 straight running backs. Getting something like Kamara and Devontae Freeman and Aaron Jones or Marlon Mack. And here we are in the 4th. The Top 3 tight ends gone. Ertz and Kelsey in the second round. Kittle followed in the third. I like Tariq Cohen, especially in the fourth round. I like him more so at the back end of the fourth round in a half PPR. Even more in a full PPR. I think that's obvious, but I mean that's great value. You're nearly getting him in the fifth round. I can't pass on that. I would have liked to have Galladay, but Robert Woods is there. I don't expect Robert Woods to do what he did last year. But the chance of any one Rams wide receiver putting up big points in any given week is just so great, and I'm willing to roll the die on Robert Woods especially. And at the wide receiver 2 position, I mean, that's fine. I'm confident I can find some other wide receiver 2s coming up. I love how deep the wide receiver position is. That's a part of the reason why I'm okay with loading up on running back, and I'm okay with drafting a tight end early. I'll take Kittle in the early fourth, and Kelsey in the second. Ertz in the third, but I'm not getting much of Ertz. I don't think I have any shares of Ertz in best ball as of now. I'm going to go with Sammy Watkins here because it is my honest opinion that Tyreek Hill doesn't play this season. Maybe never again in the NFL. It comes back to us. Lots of quarterbacks gone already. This is not the time to take quarterback. Let's see what we've got at the running back position. I like Carlos Hyde and his chances to do something in that Kansas City backfield. I think my next choice may have been James White or Josh Jacobs, but James White just wins. Yeah, maybe I should. I don't know. If Carlos Hyde takes over that backfield, he's going to be much better than James White can be in that Patriots offense. I think we saw the best James White that James White can be last season. And I forget, I've heard a well-known analyst come out and say that they believe he'll have an even better season. I forget who it is, but yeah, I'm definitely not seeing it. Wow. Alright, what do we got here? Don't you guys just love drafting when you get used to drafting on one site and then you switch to the other and the rankings completely, you're just either really surprised by like which players, like Latavius Murray, he's not sitting around with these guys, Adrian Peterson and Peyton Barber and Jamal Williams. So yeah, I had to do it. 5 running backs, but there's no way I could pass on them. Let's see what Devin Funchess can do, hey? Playing with Andrew Luck. I like that. I like Djax as well. Geronimo Allison, potential number 2 in that Green Bay offense. You always want to trust in the system and trust in the offense. Like if you know that you have, for example, Aaron Rodgers, Patrick Mahomes. I hate to use Patrick Mahomes as an example there because I think it's more so Andy Reid. If Patrick Mahomes were in another situation, he definitely wouldn't have done what he did last year. But I'm not sure that I'm not sure he would have been half the player that he was. He even put up half of the stats, let's say. I'll gladly take Deshaun Jackson here. So when you have a really good quarterback like Andrew Luck or Aaron Rodgers, you know the offense is good. You can trust in it. But as well, with the system, I think it works the same way. Like one system that I'm really buying into is San Francisco, and there's nothing really flashy about it. But I am a Kyle Shanahan believer. Sorry for the long pause there. Yes, I am a Kyle Shanahan believer, and I'm willing to buy into that offense, even if it means drafting a tight end in the 4th round, such as George Kittle. But don't expect what we saw from Kittle last year, but know that maybe 80% of that is a fair expectation. What do we need here? I believe this is 15 rounds. Got 6 receivers, 5 running backs. Jimmy Graham. See, that's why best ball is my preferred. Well, they took Delaney Walker because we got timed. So let's pretend that instead we took Jimmy Graham. Now I'm taking Jack Doyle. 2 tight ends, Jimmy Graham and Jack Doyle, are 2 tight ends tied to those 2 great quarterbacks and 2 good offenses that I was just speaking of. I know it's hard to say that Green Bay is going to be a good offense because we don't know what to expect with a new coach and a completely new staff. But like I was saying before, Aaron Rodgers isn't going to let that offense be any worse than it was last year. So I think the Packers' offense is something that we can buy into by default. And this is where we don't draft kickers. This is where we draft the quarterbacks appropriately. And who do I get? I get a good... I've got a nice choice here, hey? Derek Carr interests me this year. Matthew Stafford is a decent safety blanket. Kyler Murray, the unknown. I would go with Darnold or Carr. And let's go with Carr. All those weapons. I can cut them. I can cut them fast and not be upset about it. So instead of Delaney Walker, that was supposed to be Jimmy Graham. So I'm